Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 113 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. I'm getting ready to make that awesome nifty buff yourself spell that I made last episode. One of the things I needed though, aside from a bunch of different craziness, is a potion of night vision and all kinds of other crazy stuff that I haven't gotten around to automating yet. But when I got to the potion of night vision thing, I realized that I really never recreated my potion automation steps. So I wouldn't mind getting those set up real fast in here. So I was thinking about different ways to automate potions. Potions are always like kind of a little tricky kind of thing to automate. So why don't I grab a couple export buses? Like, you know, we can get, I'm going to grab like, I don't know if I want that many. Also, am I low on stuff still that I need? No, I'm alright. Cool. I'm good. So I'm going to grab the export buses. I'm going to grab the import buses that I'm going to need. Maybe a couple interfaces, and we'll kind of see if we can recreate a bit of really cool potion automation with brewing stands. That sound like a cool thing? I think so. So that's what I'm going to work on first. It should only take a few minutes to get that up and running. Then I'm going to make sure that I've automated everything I need for the spell Buff Yourself. Once that's the case, I'm also going to automate the collection of Aum. So that should be a pretty crazy amount of stuff to get done in one episode. Hopefully I can get it all done, and if that's the case, I'll be happy. So now that I've got those buses ready, cool. 5 and 2 for the import. We're waiting on a couple more things to cook up, I guess. I can also get an interface. So are you like stuck or something, guys? You shouldn't be. Though it does seem to be. Import bus, I wanted 3 more. I wanted to wait to request the interfaces, because if I ask for interfaces now, it's just going to go ahead and use them to make the import buses. But I can just do it. Interface, let's ask for like 10 of these. Sure, why not? So the first thing I'm going to want to make is a brewing stand whose sole job will be to make, I think, the basic potion components. So let's see where I can set this thing up. It doesn't really need to be terribly interactive with, so let's... I'm getting really compact with my designs again, which I kind of like. So if we want this to work, I think what I need, I'm going to put this here for a minute. You there. You're going to be okay with that? Good. Basic export bus. And what I'm going to want I was about to use that thing and remembered I put it in my AE system last episode. Boy, I have a lot of stuff on my auto crafting list. I'm trying to remember what that thing's called. Dun dun dun. There it is. Wireless access terminal. Okay. Cool. So let's get that water bottle. And what I'm going to do is pretty much set it up so that this thing constantly exports water bottles right there like that. So he'll keep this thing well populated with water bottles, right? In theory. So it's probably crafting the water bottle now, and then it's going to make sure it stays populated in there. Dun dun dun. Come on. Oh, you know what? No, I lied. Hold on. Let's get that export bus. Let's get the precision export bus. And while I'm at it, I'm going to get a couple of these basic processors because I might need a few. I forgot, you need to use a precision export bus if you want the system to be able to craft stuff for you. Something I always forget for some reason. So I don't know what this is pre-configured with, but we're going to see what happens. It's pre-configured with gravel. That's not what I want. No, not at all. So water bottle, and we're going to say move single items / craft. And what should be happening now is our AE system should be attempting to craft water bottles for us and get them populated into the bottom of this thing. I think it's the bottom it's supposed to pipe into. We'll see. Might be the side. If that's the case, then I can probably just snag this guy. Just gonna try this. I always forget like which the sidedness of brewing stands is weird. That's just what I want to say. I never really know. Let's put our water bottle away and we'll see if it shows up in there from the side. Maybe not. You know what? I'm a derp. It was the bottom that you had to pipe things into. I just had this set to only activate with a redstone signal. So that was something else that was pre-configured that I just forgot about. Alright, so now that we've got that working correctly, we can go ahead and say what I want to do is probably something like this. I will note that if you want an awkward potion, which we may or may not have some of, we don't. So let's put some nether wart in there. So I'll teach this thing the following little trick. And I'm going to want a precision import bus for this too. There we go. So it's awkward potions are going to go in the filter. You're only allowed to pull awkward potions out of here, right? And we'll come down here and say that 1 nether wart equals 1, 2, 3 awkward potions. And then this guy can go right here. There you are. And there. So now if I request awkward potions, after I connect this thing up, so if I request 1, it should throw another wart in here at some point. Water bottle's already there. Maybe. You know what? It might have to go on the top. Let me fix that. Alright, this should do it now. Awkward potion here. We'll put this guy here. This is what I get for not testing the sidedness of these things and kind of forgetting how... Because like I said, they're a little less than what you would normally expect for sidedness. So if we come in here, what we should wind up with... So you're currently doing nothing, right? Good. You should have just water bottles. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to request awkward potions. We're going to say make me 1. What we should see is nether wart in there. Cool. So that went to there, that did that. And then he's going to do that. Cool. I like it. Alright. So now that we've got this piece, let's get the next piece. So here's where the real trick comes in. I'm going to tell this guy his job is to precision export. Not that, but awkward potions. So this will always keep the brewing stand full of awkward potions for you, and we'll set it to craft when needed. So when we're out of awkward potions, this will automatically craft the awkward potions we need, and we'll come over here, and we might need to do a little trickery here, but we'll see. But long story short, we want this here, and we can have anything we want for the recipe here. So I could say like, you know, 1, so the one I needed for this situation was the night vision, right? So we could say night vision is a golden carrot. So 1 golden carrot equals 3 potions of night vision. So let's get a golden carrot, which by the way I did teach my system how to make. But I'll just need one of those, and doesn't matter, I just need 1. We'll say 1 golden carrot equals 3 potions of night vision. Cool. And we'll put this and this away, and then we come over here and put this in here. And then we just need to get an import bus. Now the trick here will be whether or not I can get this guy to behave. I don't think... Yeah, see, he's going to compete. Don't think there's an exclude list for this. So let me see if I can figure that out. Because I want to eventually say, like, other potion recipes here that work with awkward potions. Now, you won't be able to do, like, the higher tier potions, right? But you can do the other ones. So my plan is I need to basically say blacklist And if I can't do that, I have an idea or two. Let's see. So basically what I can say is we will have item ducts that loop up like that. And we'll install this dude in it, and we'll just say blacklist awkward potions and ignore redstone. So now it won't pull out awkward potions. But if I come down here and say, hey, I would like some more night vision potions, please make me one, it should start brewing, right? And then when the brewing process is complete, these will no longer be awkward potions, they'll be night vision potions, and they'll get pulled out and dumped into the ME interface right there like that. And I think that's pretty cool. And that should be it. So let's see. Ta-da! So the night vision potions got pulled out, awkward potions are being created. You can see they're making new ones because of the need. Now I can, request any other potions I want. All I have to do is make a pattern for it. So that's a pretty decent amount of automated brewing. I can't automate at this point the other stuff, but I've got a few ideas on how I might do it if I ever do need to get like the tier 2 automated potions. So that's that. So let's go. I want to do a couple more auto crafting recipes. I'll be back when I'm done with that because I want to finish up the buff yourself spell. So one thing that we're also going to need is some fish. And you guys may or may not know, but I am a huge fan of fishing in Minecraft. Not. So what I'm going to do is automate fishing real quick. So the Fisher from Mine Factory Reloaded is a nice, quick way to get automated fishing going on. So I'm going to need some of this stuff, I'm going to need some of this stuff, and I'm going to need a, let's see, from Applied Energistics, I want the level emitter. Redstone torch, please. Thank you. So level emitter, maybe some cables. I might need a few more cables at some point. So go ahead and make that for me, would you guys? Thank you so much. I'm actually a little bit low on glowstone, which has nothing to do with cables, but I figured I'd mention it. So what I'm thinking is, let's get some bricks or something. You know what I could go with? Glass. That might look cool. If we were to make now we're talking. Look at that. That should be cool, right? And I can do 1, 2, 3. Boom. And then we're going to want a fisher. And we're also going to want some fish. So let's see here. What goes into the fisher? Just power, I believe. So let's get some fish. And we've got some redstone energy cell conduitness, and I'm also going to want, I guess, an interface. Might not be a terrible idea right here. So this will eject automatically, I believe. Looks like the injecting is on the top, so I guess I'll put this up here. We'll run some cabling. There we go. And some power is obviously going to be needed here. So how easily can I get power up here? Where's my redstone? Let's do actually... make this one higher. There we go. And then we can run the redstone into here. Oh, I'm getting low on power. Don't want to fall into the void when low on power. There we go. So he should automatically start fishing for me. Now it does take a little while, so 900 ticks, so it's not like super fast that it's going to be producing fish for you, but I just want to make sure fish start showing up. And then I don't want to completely overload my AE system with fish, so we're going to use the level emitter, and we're going to emit a redstone signal under the condition of whatever we want. So I'll just say, like, you point at that thing, and we're going to say fish, emit when levels are above, I don't know, 64 is probably enough, right? I don't think I need more than a stack of fish. So emit a redstone signal when you have more than 64 fish in the system, and that should wind up turning it off, right? So we'll see what happens. So here, we should be about to get a fish. So we've got 2 in there, now we've got 3, beautiful. So we can just say, for testing purposes, greater than 1, this thing will stop working. See, the idle timer is full, the work timer is off. Set it back to 64. So now we'll make sure we have a stack of 64 all the time. Awesome. The last component we're going to need for this spell is we're going to need this Essence Nexus to basically have a little bit of something here. So let's see. I want to go into bat mode. So there needs to be a block right underneath the Essence Nexus, okay? And that would be right here. So this is right on the center of the Nexus. Is 46, -3. 46, -3. So we need to get a block. It doesn't have to be a source block of the essence stuff that we found in the world, but it does need to be a flowing block, and then it'll hit up and work with that block. So let's see. What I'm thinking is I could have the floodgate here with a fluid duct, which I didn't grab one of. No signal lies. 1 fluid duct should be sufficient to there. And I could do this with an ender tank if I wanted to, but let's see what happens. If I flip this lever, what we should start seeing is, ta-da! Nice. So I'm going to, unclick that, let this thing, do its thing. But what that's going to do is it's going to convert that liquid essence into neutral energy from Ars Magica 2. As we probably recall, Ars Magica 2 has several types of energy. There's the neutral energy, which is what we're filling up quite a bit of right here, and the light energy, which is right here, which we can see is actually filling up, and it's probably doing its best to fill up this battery. That's why it's pretty low at the moment. But it's sending its energy over to the battery. It probably sends around 1,000, so we'll see that happen in a minute here. So the battery is getting filled up, as are the Essence Refiner and Arcane Constructor. So even though this has been in place for a while, I mean, it's basically generating energy off light, so it's pretty slow. But it's that type of energy that we're looking at. So let's see, almost 1,000 there. There we go. So our energy particle hitting the battery, doing its thing. The only way to get neutral essence that I know of is by converting this liquid essence. So all I have to do is hit that, unclick it, and it's creating that source block underneath here, and then, doing that cool thing. I like it. So that works pretty well. So now I think I'm ready to make my spell, believe it or not. Took a long time to get to this point, but that's okay. So let's see. I need a blank rune, Aum and Ventium Dust. So blank rune, Aum and Ventium Dust. I should probably put away a few of the things that I don't need right now. Like, into my ender pouch can go you guys, and you, and you. Into here can go this, because I obviously need a ton of inventory space for what I'm about to do, so that's about that. What else do I need? I need a lesser focus and neutral essence, which is the energy over there. So I need a lesser focus, 3 blue runes, and a golden apple. So lesser focus, and it'll, oops, I didn't mean to do that. One of these days I'll remember not to do that. So lesser focus, 3 blue runes, so 1, 2, 3, and it's set to auto-craft these, so you can see it's always going to keep my interface refilled. Let's see, so 3 blue runes, golden apple, green rune, potion of night vision. So I know I need a green rune, and a golden apple, and a potion of night vision. Nice. See how this is going to work? So I'm going to have a bunch of these interfaces here, kind of just holding on to whatever I need. Chimerite, glass pane, 2 white runes. So 1, 2... Oops, I did the wrong thing again. I'm just so used to hitting whatever's on the left that it really messes with me. Glass pane, Chimerite. This is a complicated spell, so obviously there's a lot of components, right? Hopper, feather, yellow rune, redstone. Hopper, feather, yellow rune, redstone. I put all the runes in the same thing, so there's a yellow rune. And then the last components are glowstone, raw fish, fishing rod, and spell parchment. So glowstone, raw fish, fishing rod. All right, I already had a raw fish. And it's going to auto-craft a new fishing rod for me here at some point. There it is. And spell parchment's always the last part of a spell, as you guys might remember. Blank rune's always the start. So to kick this thing off, we drop our blank rune on the ground. And there we go. So with it dropped, it's now asking for an Aum, so we can drop that guy. And ta-da, it's now asking for Vintium Dust. It's asking for the Lesser Focus. Now it needs the energy, so we have to link up this guy to this guy and flip the lever. Ta-da, energy's charging it up. Now we can just kind of drop most of our stuff in whatever pattern you want. It won't use it up right away, but it will use it up when it's ready to. All right. Item stacks, it does not recognize and differentiate. So we'll do that. Golden apple. Another blue rune. Chimerite. The glass pane. A white rune. Hopper feather, all this stuff. Ta-da! Now it's ready for the parchment. Nice. We've got an awesome buff yourself spell. I'm going to give this a nifty pattern like that. That looks cool, right? Nice. Wow, that gives me a lot of buffs. But you might have also noticed that it gave me quite a large amount of experience. So, 253 up to 270, that's with diminished amount, right? Remember that every time you cast the spell, you're going to, have a little bit of a diminishment for a little while. So there's your buff yourself spell, and that's how I'm going to, automate. As you can see, we're out of glowstone, so I have to visit the nether. But that's how we're going to automate making it easy. So every time I run into a new spell component, I'm going to add it to one of these interfaces, or more likely, I'm going to have a new interface, or a couple new interfaces at this point. But every new spell component I have will go into an interface, make sure it's auto-crafting, and then, I'll never have a problem with Ars Magica components. Pretty cool, right? So let's go ahead and make sure that our buff yourself spell is in my spell book. So now I can test this out. Let's see, 270, 292. Nice, 22. If you cast this in half moon mode, by the way, you'll get more experience from it. So you can see here. Now, obviously, the buffs don't last long when you're in diminished casting mode. So let me give it a minute here to make sure that it completely resets that counter on, the XP thing. So let's try it. Buff yourself for medium casting mode, 292. Wow, that was a lot. I don't know exactly how much that was, but I got a level from it. So, nice. So that'll be a nice way to continue to level myself up. So I'm going to make sure that I continue getting leveled up. You can see, obviously, I don't have quite enough mana to get, a good boost there. One nifty trick, by the way, is if I make sure that this thing is like 10% full or more, I think it is, I'll be able to get a nice bit of a regen buff just from standing in the circle here. So let's see. We'll get this guy up to 10%, and let's see how buff yourself is. Not quite ready yet. Alright guys, so letting the last of this wear off here, looks like I got up to a 13%, so I've got mana regen 2. So as a result of getting any one of these guys up to 10% full, you're going to get a nice little regen buff just from standing in it. And it lasts a little while, so you can see I'm regenerating mana a lot faster now than I was a minute ago. All I have to do to get it back is walk back into the circle. So you'll see that it lasts a bit, now it's gone, regenning mana slowly again, back into the circle, and mana regen 2. You'll get mana regen 1 from this circle, by the way, and 3 from the third circle, which we haven't built yet. Alright guys, so the next thing I want to do is automate that Aum collection out there if I can. Aum is used for a lot of spells, and you're going to want a lot of it, so it's also really hard to get your hands on. But no worries, we've got a lot of mods to help us out. One of the things I want to get is a golem to cut down that tree. So after testing last episode, I've determined that Aum does not randomly spawn underneath the tree. I was hoping that it did, because it seemed like there was sometimes a delay between the tree growing and the Aum showing up. So I was like, let's give it a shot. But I didn't think that was the case. I was pretty sure it's when the tree grows is when the Aum shows up. So, with that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to create a golem that'll chop down the tree for us. And then we're going to create a nifty way to collect the Aum that's going to get picked up as a result of that. Cool? So let's do the following. Let's first get ourselves a golem. So we're going to want a stone golem, and then we're going to want the axe golem chop. So we're going to need a harvest animation core. We're going to need an axe of the stream, and we're going to need some iron axes. So that's going to be a lot of infusion I'm going to do off camera. I'll be back when it's all done. Infusing an Axe of the Stream. And you have to infuse a Harvest Core with an Axe of the Stream and 3 Iron Axes to get this thing up and running. And the last thing I'm making is an Earth Shard because I want to upgrade my Golem with Strength, and that's what an Earth Shard is going to be for us. Strength will determine how fast the Golem can cut down a tree. And I went ahead and made myself a Stone Golem, which are pretty slow to move around, but he's not going to be moving all that much. He's going to stand in one spot and cut down one tree, so he doesn't need to move. He can just stand there and do what I tell him to do. So let's get ourselves a bucket. Because I'm actually going to remove one of these essence things. It will technically slow down the speed at which this thing can grow, but I'm not going to worry too much about that because it's basically going to become automated, so then I don't have to worry about how fast it takes to grow. Cool? So your job is now to cut down a tree. Go, have fun. He might decide to cut down those trees as well, but he should, I hope, cut down this tree. Hooray! Well done, Golem. Alright guys, I haven't tested this yet, but here's my basic plan. I'm going to use a drone to do everything else besides chop down the tree. So step 1, pick up any items that are in this area. That's a pretty big area. Step 2, export any items that you got into the chest right here. Step 3, take items out of the chest, same spot. And the item that you're allowed to take out of there is the witchwood sapling. Cool. So grab witchwood saplings out of the chest. And then finally, or almost finally, place in this area. Ah. And then I might need another export inventory here, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I might need another export because I think he'll be holding on to witchwood saplings at that point if there's more than one in there. So I might want to make this an interface, and that's probably what I'll do. And then I'll only have one interface. Yeah, I'm going to make that an interface. Let's do that. That should be okay if I make this an interface. It should be okay. So let's get rid of this thing. Let's put an interface right here with some cable hooked up to it. And your job will be to connect to here. There we go. And you will keep one witchwood sapling in here at all times. Cool. If there's 2, it'll only have 1. Perfect. That's what I wanted to see. Did I lose the brick that was there? Okay. And then last step of the program, dig in this area, but the only thing you're allowed to dig up is an Aum. Cool. So let's export, and he currently has 0 bars of pressure. I've got a charging station here. What can the charging station handle in terms of power? It can handle a decent amount of power, so that's cool. So let's hook him up to like a strong power line here. Do I have any more of those advanced pressure tubes? I do. So what I'm thinking then is something like this. Cool. And if I put this drone in here, he'll get charged up pretty quickly. Oh, and I want the upgrade. So speed upgrade would not be a terrible idea, but we want the dispenser upgrade. That's the main thing that I'm looking at here. So that we can say that and that. That'll make him go faster, and this will also make it so that he does what I want him to do. He'll go back here and recharge as needed. So go, Mr. Drone. So first things first, he's going to go recharge himself. Probably because he's low on air. And then what he should wind up doing is everything I want him to do. And what I'm going to do in the meantime is also grab some Aum so we can simulate this working. So I'm just going to grab a few pieces of Aum here, and we'll see what happens when he starts moving. Hey, there we go. He's moving. And I put on my helmet so I can see what he's trying to do. So first thing is he's going to inventory import because he detected that there was nothing worth doing otherwise. Cool. He's going to put that there, and then he's just going to hang out over here. I see. He's going to hang on to that inventory import. All right, so that's fine. So let's simulate an Aum growing. So if an Aum lands here, what he should wind up doing is eventually coming over, digging up the Aum, and he's going to decide to, all right, I have to move around some logic. One sec. Actually, I remembered, if I put an upgrade in the drone, so by default, right now I have the item machine life upgrade in there, but if I put a dispenser upgrade in, he can carry more than one stack of items. The problem was that he was getting that witchwood sapling, and then because he had the witchwood sapling in his inventory, he wasn't trying to pick up the Aum because his inventory was full. So he was grabbing the witchwood sapling, trying to place it, digging, trying to pick up items, and then exporting the witchwood sapling into the inventory and picking it back up. So we don't want that to be the case. So let's get him running again. So he's going to sit there doing his thing, but now he has an extra inventory slot, so he's capable of picking up Aum. Cool, and he did. Nice. And the Aum went into the AE system. Cool. So basically what we do here is we wait for this tree to grow. The golem will cut down the tree, but the drone will handle collecting the Aum and planting a new sapling here, and collecting any saplings that fall, and collecting any wood. So let's give that a minute and we'll see what happens once the tree grows. Oh wow, the tree just grew. Perfect. So he's running around and collecting the Aum that showed up as a result of the tree growing. Cool, right? And he's going to deposit the Aum into the AE system. So right now there's 3. We saw it just bump up to 7. Perfect. So he decided he needed to plant a new witchwood sapling. He grabbed the witchwood that fell. He should grab, oh, you know what? The saplings might fall into the water here. So I might want to cover up this water because the sapling's actually down there, and I don't want him going into the water or he might have problems. So not the end of the world, but let's get some, actually some bricks. Let's get a stack. That'll do. Cool. So he's actually doing exactly what I want him to do, and it's working perfectly. He just doesn't know to get the witchwood saplings out of the liquid there. So I'm just going to cover up the liquid to prevent them from falling in. And now we have a nicely automated Aum system. Look at that. Beautiful, right? And I'll put my witchwood saplings in there, and now we should be in pretty good shape. Cool. I like it. All right, so for now, Direwolf20 signing off. Automated witchwood, automated crafting of components, supplying the Ars Magica stuff, automated brewing. I think we had a pretty good episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. For now, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and as always, take it easy.